What happens in Georgia gets revealed one by one as the facts are unsealed. From the pit comes what they don't want you to see, when the daily nugget of truth is dropped with your host, BKP.
All right, folks, how are you today? I'm doing great. I'm running behind every day. Now, I'm not complaining. I'm your host, BKP, and I promise I'm not complaining at all. But seems like every single day the phone is ringing off the hook. Things are going on. Breaking news at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I have to change the complete show. Today I had to change the complete show at 1 o'clock today. If you're new to the show, I broke my arm right here. I'm in a sling. I'll update you later, but things are going well. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics. A little nugget of truth here today. Our Substack channel, VORA, V-O-R-A, at BKP Politics. X, Facebook, Instagram, I guess, Rumble, YouTube, voiceofruralamerica.com, and the phone number 706-889-9700. So every day, more of you send messages. I appreciate it. Don't forget, can't buy a narrative here, but you can donate. What I mean by that is, well, I haven't seen the size of the check that I would carry a politician's water. It hasn't happened. By the way, it will not happen. I do not carry politicians' water. I do not get involved in political stunts. Bottom line, okay? I can't stand the political career class. The list goes on. So, wow. I was trying to, and I'm serious, I'm trying to get here to start the program today, and news is moving so fast. So I'm going to start out with this right here. We've told you this. We've worked on this from day one. We told you what would happen with this. We did. We have the tape, as they say in Hollywood. Roll the tape. Let me get my glasses off right now. But I'm going to say nicely to every single candidate. Now, I want to be upfront with this. I want to start with the GRA dog and pony show of the candidate endorsement. Run like the wind. Get your name off of here. Now, to start out, this is not an attack on any single candidate on this flyer. They're all looking, folks. They're all looking for all the votes they can get, where they can get them. They're scraping for it. There's several candidates in their race. They want to get into the runoff. They want to get on the ballot for the general election, whatever office it may be, Secretary of State, Lieutenant Governor, Governor, or whatever. But, so this is your chance right here, because I'm not attacking anyone. Get away from the dog and pony show, the GRA dog and pony show. Because I'm just going to say, there's some people on this list. They're great people. I have done this in the past in transparency when I ran for first vice chair in the Wayback Machine, before we knew about the $140 million Ponzi scheme from the albino rhino, Brant Frost V, Brant Frost IV, First Liberty Building and Loan, the list goes on. Get away. I've told you, this is, I want to be clear to get started also. I have a lot of friends out there that are wearing the GRA badge. I have broadcast after broadcast after broadcast where I've told you over and over, I'm not really attacking the organization. I promise, you're great people. Run. Get the hell away. And I'll tell you why. So we start with that. This is your chance because here you go, right? Now, this is Nathaniel Darnell. This is Nathaniel Darnell. Ponzi scheme investigation. Prominent Georgia Republican. Now, I have told you this from day one. All right, Josh McCoon, bad person. Get it through your head. Sally Grubb, still a member, first vice chair of the Georgia Republican Party. Sally Grubhub. All right, stunt woman on the state election board, still a member of the GRA. This is Nathaniel Darnell, the president of the Georgia Republican Assembly. From day one, we have begged everyone in the Republican Party anywhere to get clear away from these people. It's coming down. And now it's wide open. So the pushback will be, well, this is Brad Raffensperger. And Brad Raffensperger hates the GRA because the GRA led the way to pass a non-binding resolution at the Georgia Republican Party State Convention to bar Brad Raffensperger from running as a Republican. Now, I know many of you out there are waiting every day, wondering when you get up and rub the sleep out of your eyes and go get that cup of coffee, is today the magic day that Brad Raffensperger will get indicted, arrested, and thrown in the slammer and get his mugshot out there, much like Donald J. Trump. I know that. I get it. All right? I've been with you from day one. But Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State of Georgia, is not going after these people because they're GRA. Not going after these people because they are they got involved and put up a resolution to try to stop him from running for governor. No, he is investigating these people because they're tied to a $140 million Ponzi scheme in which retirees, mostly senior citizens, playing on God, country, patriotism, their political affiliations, being Republican, conservative, maybe MAGA, all right, the patriot economy, and played on them and stole millions of dollars from these people. That's why. That's the only reason why. Now, Nathaniel Darnell. So let me go back here just one moment and show you something. I told you this, right? What number is it? Hold on, I have it here. Remember, when this came up the other day, I have said on this program how many days in a row. I put it out there just so you know, right? And here it is. This is the albino rhino, Brant Frost V. Now, First Liberty Building and Loan, Brant Frost IV, Papa Frost, all right? This is this is Junior. This is Junior. Well, Junior here, he would never make it inside. He's not going to make it inside. No. Now, Junior and his wife just had a baby. Nathaniel Darnell and his wife have 2 children. I think another one on the way. I wonder who's going to sing like a canary. Now, that being said, I tell you this. Brad Raffensperger, this is February 19th. Today's 2025. So we're on Ponzi scheme, referred for criminal activity to be investigated. Day watch here, every day. Brad Raffensperger said, this is just one of many. That would be your albino rhino, Brant Frost V. One of many orders we expect to file. We will not stop until we get justice for those who lost their life savings. I will always put the law above politics and protect the most vulnerable. Now, before you just get all worked up, because that's Brad Raffensperger, and as my good friend would say, Ratburger, and you got all kinds of names for him. I get it. Now it's Grecian formula because, I think he put the old shoe polish. He hit the loafers and then put a little across the top, Brad did. Woo, wow, I see that. Anyhow, that being said, that's my placeholder for moving on. That being said, if you hear that, just because it's Brad Raffensperger, let me be clear. I don't know if you have a personal experience. I do. I have a personal experience of a husband and wife in their 70s with, this is Nathaniel Darnell, with about, I think this one off the top of my head is about $350,000. Now, why is Nathaniel Darnell and many more to come, why is this happening? And what will it unveil? Because you notice they keep saying Republican, so remember, he was referred, right? And he also, Edwin, that would be Brant, Edwin was ordered to pay a civil penalty of $500,000. Within 30 days. So he's got 30 days to cough up $500,000. Wow. Now, so that is Edwin, right? Now let's get down to why, and we'll go back and tie this together. Let's start here. We'll make it very quick. Now, Nathaniel Darnell, he's in the, sorry about that, trying to get my graphics where I want them. There you go. Now, it broke this afternoon, and this is Nathaniel Darnell, and they make sure, like I said, this is Channel 2. They make sure that he has a GRA badge on, all right? GRA badge. Ponzi scheme investigation. Prominent Georgia Republican. Fined $500,000. Referred for possible charges, all right? So, Mr. Darnell here. And in this early report today, the Georgia Secretary of State's office is fining a prominent Georgia Republican leader for his alleged role in a $140 million Ponzi scheme. Now, they will always put prominent Georgia Republican leader. I mean, Josh McCoon, the cowardly lion that he is, hiding behind his Twitter feed. All right, he is Josh McCoon, the cowardly lion he is, hiding behind God knows what all he's involved in. And I mean, God only knows. I don't know what all he's involved in. Little do we know, but we may find out soon. How do you like that? I wrote that myself right there. Anyhow, moving right along, as you know, I get wound up. I better back that volume down. Let me back that down just a little. All right, so I don't want that to get too high. I was getting a little up there. So, prominent Republican leader for his alleged role in a $140 million Ponzi scheme. He may also face criminal charges. Channel 2 investigation reporter Justin Gray obtained a copy, right, of Georgia. Let's see, a copy of the Georgia Secretary of State's emergency order to fine Nathaniel Darnell $500,000. The office also referred Darnell's case to Cobb County District Attorney Office for possible criminal charges. These individuals use their standings in the community to continually commit this affinity fraud, right? Is that what it says? With no one off limits, including those who committed their lives to helping others, Georgia Secretary of State said Brad Raffensperger. So why is Nathaniel Darnell caught up in this web of this Ponzi web? So let's go back, lay a little groundwork for you, and we're going to run through this just so you know why Nathaniel Darnell. So keep in mind, this is the other day we broke this story, and it is the son of First Liberty founder fined and referred for potential prosecution. That would be the albino rhino, and right there he is. That is Brant Frost the fifth. They're also seeking criminal charges. We showed you this the other day, this story. And here he is. That is where the $500,000. But this is what I find interesting, and we're still looking at. And if you know out there, if you want to do some research and look at the possible dates, because right after the Georgia Republican Party State Convention, it was like 2 weeks after that when the collapse, right, was made public of First Liberty Building and Loan. So shortly after the firm's collapse, the investor emailed multiple First Liberty employees, including Frost V, keep this in mind, to withdraw his investment of $550,000. But he and his spouse have not received the principal amount back, according to the order. 2 of the family members also invested in First Liberty, bringing it to $1.4 million. Listen to this. It also includes an allegation that an investor who lost at least $350,000. Now, I met an investor that lost $350,000. I don't know, this could be just a coincidence, told investigators that Frost V texted him in June, now keep this in mind, of 2025, days before the company collapsed, to solicit a reoccurring donation to an unnamed state lawmaker who has been such a great ally and partner with us. Now, when he solicited the donation would probably go into the GRA PAC. I say that. The reason I bring that donation up somewhere around June to a lawmaker, right? A unnamed state lawmaker. So I think when this web continues to reach out, I think state lawmakers right now should be running in, all right? Running in, trying to say, hey, wait a minute, we got to talk. But this investor was solicited in June of 2025, asking for more money for a political donation, would have probably went into the GRA PAC, probably, and then through the GRA PAC was distributed to probably, maybe, I say that, we don't know, to the candidate. But that's important that that's out there. Now, Nathaniel Darnell, why is he caught up in this? And I'll tell you exactly why Nathaniel Darnell is caught up in this. It's far from over. You got it? It's far from over. I mean, I have to say this nicely. I love you out there, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, because some of you know who I'm talking about. Get that damn GRA badge. Get the hell away from all of these people. Do not go down with this ship. All right? I mean, let's get together and put a good organization to be the true conscience of the Georgia Republican Party. But this is not it right now, because the leadership, Nathaniel Darnell should have stepped down. You just had a GRA election, and no one opposed this guy. We told you that before you had your election. I mean, I applied for membership of the GRA not so I could be kindred spirits with Alex Johnson and Nathaniel Darnell and some others, but so I can run to see because of the people out there. I got Northwest Georgia. I got over here around the 7th District. I got 2nd District. Some of you people are just amazing people. And if the place was organized properly, there's a lot of things you could get done. But Nathaniel Darnell didn't even face opposition. Not even face it. He should have resigned, got out of the way. And there's no way they should be having a dog and pony show. I mean, I will not get away candidates from these damn people. Anyhow, Nathaniel Darnell, why Nathaniel? Nathaniel Darnell fired by Bankers Life Securities for Ponzi scheme allegations. Now, he worked as a broker. Is that what they call it? How to recover your losses. Did you invest in First Liberty Building and Loan with Timothy Nathaniel Darnell, also known as Nathaniel Darnell of Bankers Life Security? The law firm, here's a law firm. This is straight from a law firm. Anyhow, I think he's a broker, right? He has accounts. He has clients. He works for this company, right, that is Bankers Life and Securities. So I'm just going to give you a little scenario here. So you walk in, right, and you say, hey, Nathaniel, how are you today? How's my investments going? It's going great. Boy, I'd like to make more money. Well, by the way, here's a card. Now, I've heard these people are paying anywhere from 13 to 18% interest. Give this guy a call. I know the guy. We're close. We're like family. I was in his wedding. He was in my wedding. I mean, there could be weird stuff going on. I just threw that in. Weird stuff. Hey, these are interesting people. I think weird stuff could be going on. But I just think it. I don't know. But hey, call this guy maybe. Now, quoting what happened, I can't do that. But I do know I sit down and I looked a man in the eye who was a customer of Bankers Life and Security, and Nathaniel Darnell was his broker, and he looked at me. I could say this because he looked at me and said Nathaniel Darnell referred him to Brant Frost and First Liberty Building and Loan. And I'm telling you right now, that's why he got fired. See, he got fired months ago. That's why I don't understand how he continued on the state committee. I think he's on the Republican Party state committee, right? I think he's on the 14th district somewhere. Yes, Republican Party 14th district, I think. Check it out, right? He's now, we're going to move on. So this is ethics panel widens probe of GOP group tied to the Frost family. Now, we brought this up. We showed this to you, all right? So there's violations. There were like 61 violations of the GRA PAC. Like Brant Frost V did not think he had to file any paperwork whatsoever. No reports, nothing. Just give us money. We'll do what we want. We don't have to report a thing. We don't need to tell you anything, right? So there's all these violations and investigation into the GRA PAC, which Brant Frost V was handling while also being an officer over at the GRA, while sharing addresses, the list goes on. And so they take them and say, hey, this is the same group. Group ties to First Liberty accused of campaign finance violations. So the argument with the GRA is we're not the GRA PAC. We even have different bank accounts. That's not what the findings said. This is going to get so far. It is deep. It is far from over. Ethics Commission attorney laid out evidence that showed close ties between the groups. He showed that they have common leadership and cited examples of the GRA raising money for Political Action Committee and even citing examples of the GRA officials directing the PAC to spend money on specific candidates. So what they would do is the GRA PAC would raise the money, right? And then the GRA would have these dog and pony shows. And then if you're an endorsed GRA candidate and you have to be a member of the GRA, then the GRA PAC would give you money. But they're, according to them, they were not tied in any way whatsoever. And according to them, they're just going after them. So here you go right here. This is Nathaniel Darnell, the guy in the red tie looking right at you. He is the guy that just got referred for charges. Just got hit. He's got a lovely wife. I mean, Abigail is she's a lovely lady. She really is. Beautiful children. I wish no harm on people. I really do. But they harmed people. When I get up in the morning, I wish no harm on people, but I can't help that these bad people are out there. And you know, the thing that really, really, really gets me, I mean, 5 reallys. I don't know if I did 3 or 5, but really gets me, is they did it in the name of the Lord. I mean, the Frost family, they're praying together. They're weeping together. I mean, they're like, what? I mean, they get these clients in the office, talk about Sunday school, their grandkids. They get on the phone, they pray together, and then tell the investor, hey, you got $200,000 because I got another great opportunity that God has sent your way. That actually has happened. Oh, my God. These people are so bad. But guess what they also do? They also call them Republican, and the Republican Party will not get away from them. Okay, so there's Nathaniel Darnell. He is the president and the CEO of the GRA. He's the chairman of the Cobb County Assembly. Now look up the 14th district. I think he's a state committee member for the Republican Party. And there's Alex Johnson. Now Alex Johnson is the National Federation of Republican Assembly. He's the president there. Now, I've had people say to me, well, I don't like that you tie Alex into this. What the hell? If Alex had a set of gonads, he would have went a long time ago and said, Nathaniel, I need to ask for your resignation. I mean, this is my opinion because attorneys are always standing by. This is just my thought. I've been to their meetings. I've been to their dog and pony shows. I participated. I did my own wolfing forum, all right, and everything. I did it all. I've been in their conventions. I mean, to me, I'm allowed to say this. I feel, I don't know, that Alex is complicit. I mean, how can you not be? How can you not know? That's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking, how could you not know? And if you don't know, are you that damn dumb? I mean, really, if you are Alex Johnson and you're standing up and you're telling your membership, I did not know this was taking place. A member should stand up and say, excuse me, over here. Are you telling me you're that damn dumb? Right? Because you're an attorney. When did you think as an attorney yourself, maybe something's wrong here? That's just questions. I'm allowed to have questions. Those are all question marks. I don't know. Alex may know nothing. Yeah, that wouldn't shock me that he doesn't know anything. When you call Alex, he's a really nice guy, but he inserts the fact that, you know, he talks to you as though, first of all, let's establish I'm intelligent. And I'm much more intelligent than you. And actually, my grammar is, because you know me. So there's Alex Johnson. Should have asked for Nathaniel Darnell's resignation long time ago. We're going to watch this. Guys, get away. Get away. I want to be very clear. I started with this. I am not. Got it? I am not attacking a single person on the sheet. I'm not. Well, you do have the boy wonder there, Greg the Weasel, the boy wonder Dolezal. And I'm not attacking, all right? But get away now. Now. That's my opinion, all right? That's my opinion. So, much more to come. And there he is one more time, Nathaniel Darnell. He's been referred. And we will follow this every day. We'll get a little more back here. So let's go to, as we close, We're not going to spend too much time. I've got to get this out, and I'm working on some things. I want to get to the State of the Union last night. Folks, the State of the Union was very good. President Trump did a very good job, and he's right when he says these people are sick. They are. They're sick. They're sick. They are sick people, Democrats over there in the State of the Union. First of all, some didn't show up. And then the ones that did, they sit there. I don't even want to go into it. Alter God-given gender of a child. So anyhow, President Trump had a good night last night. I want to show you a couple things because Sharia law, I'm hearing this over and over, and I want to show you something. As I say, if you're going to get worked up, Trump wins the gold. All right, Trump wins the gold. I like that one. And because he had the U.S. hockey team. Have you seen the people going nuts? It's the U.S. hockey team. It's still America. I mean, for the State of the Union last night, if you do not like Donald Trump, if you do not, okay. I'm not attacking you. I'm not screaming at you. You don't have to. But let me just say this. It's the State of the Union. It's your country. It's your flag. All right? It's the education system that trillions of dollars are paid for through your state and federal taxes to educate you. Whatever. I mean, the lack of love and support for your country is just, it's just like, wow. So Trump's State of the Union. And yes, they spent half the night fact-checking, facing the nation. Trump lays out a long list of economic gains, the State of the Union, tariffs. He did say something to the Supreme Court justices that had that attended. I don't want to go into that right now. Trump's home run. I like this one. This is editorial from the New York Post. Trump's home run. State of the Union showed exactly how crazy Democrats are. Very true. We'll get into this tomorrow. I want to go into further detail because the Nathaniel Darnell segment came up. Let me get this. This is he is going to get the Medal of Freedom. Is that what it is? Number 5. And this was amazing last night. This is Connor Hellebuck. Is that how you say it? Hellebuck? He was the goalie. And I want to show you, this is the actual President Trump goal that President Trump was talking about. And apparently the whole entire team voted that he is the one that deserves President Trump, presenting him with the Medal of Freedom of Patriotism, the highest civilian honor you could get there. And this is the goal that the president was talking about. I do enjoy this. We did find out my man, FBI Director Kash Patel. Now, the old guy could party. The Kash can party, all right? And then we have Trump's State of the Union touch familiar themes amid sagging polling numbers, all right? So, got to do that. Now, I want to show you a couple very brief things because we're going to get out here. We're not going to stay too long. State of the Union camera operator hailed as the biggest troll in America after cutting to Somali and transgender Democrat lawmaker at very opportune moments. So Trump talks about the Somali pirates, Elian Omar right there. And then you have, that is a man, the transgender representative man that took Joe Biden's place, actually, I think, or someone's place in Delaware. So that is a man, a transgender. And when Trump brought up transgender and Minnesota corruption, the cameraman panned over. Now, I want to show you something because I'm hearing a lot about Sharia law. And we should have done something a long time ago. And I hear, we have lawmakers in Georgia that have dropped, okay, bills or a bill. I think the boy wonder, the stunt man there, the boy wonder, what's his name? Greg the Weasel Dolezal has dropped a bill that says Sharia law is not, to ever supersede the Constitution, the Georgia State Constitution, and I get that. Now, the Somali pirates, as you call them, the Somalis in Minnesota, this happened a long time ago, all right? And the billions of dollars that President Trump is talking about very accurately in waste, fraud, and abuse is all over this country. And I'm okay that he's zeroing in on these Somalis in Minnesota that are stealing billions of taxpayer dollars. I'm all right. But this is Elian Omar. This is a total disgrace. You got to keep something in mind. I mean, if you're going to get out there, it's election season, you're going to yell Sharia law and go after the Somalis, I'm with you. But where have you been? Now, you do realize that Nancy Pelosi changed the rules of our House of Representatives so this woman could serve. In July 2019, Nancy Pelosi, then incoming Speaker of the House, co-authored a rule change for Representative Elian Omar and Representative Jim McGovern to officially allow religious headwear on the House floor. The change overturned a 181-year-old ban that required all members to remain uncovered during session. So for 181 years, okay? For 181 years, you had to be uncovered to be on the floor of the House of Representatives. And Nancy Pelosi changed the rule for this Somali. That's in 2019, all right? Now, talk about Sharia law. This is Keith Ellison. Keith Ellison, right? Attorney General of Minnesota. Elian Omar, Minnesota. Keith Ellison, Minnesota. He's the Attorney General. But he used to be Representative Keith Ellison. He used to be a representative from Minnesota, and Keith Ellison was the first Muslim elected to the U.S. Congress and made history by using a Quran, okay, during his ceremonial swearing in January 4th, 2007. So I get it. I'm with you. Dearborn, Michigan. Guess what? Right? Muslim prayers in Houston, Texas. Muslim prayers now in Times Square. Muslim prayers in Dearborn, Michigan. Muslim prayers in Minneapolis, Minnesota. St. Paul. Right? 2007, Keith Ellison was the first Muslim elected to Congress. This should have been where your alarm. It's 2026. Not only that, he swore to uphold our Constitution by using a Quran. Now, I will say this. I didn't come here to battle anyone. I really didn't. Now, you may think I've lost my mind, but I have a couple good Muslim friends. I do. And I have read, and I do think we need to know everything about the assassination of Malcolm X, and I have read many things that Malcolm X has written. Oh my God. No, I'm a Christian. It's there's no dispute in any way whatsoever that I am a Christian and believe in Jesus Christ as my personal Savior, and I do not feel in any way whatsoever that the Quran is valid, no matter who that angers. But that does not mean that there's people out there that I don't hate everybody. I really just don't. I mean, I'm not that guy. That being said, moving right along, this is where your battle was. This guy used the Quran. Now, he's the Attorney General. Now, don't keep this in mind. When you talk about Minnesota, this guy went from being the first congressman to be sworn in on the Quran, first Muslim congressman to be sworn in, right? And then he ends up to be the Attorney General of Minnesota to uphold Minnesota law. And he was sworn in on the Quran there. Now, I will say this for the controversial day that we're having. I have made a statement that you cannot be sworn in on the Quran and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. We're not going to do a 2-hour show on that. I feel very strong on that. And the legal a couple syllables I don't want to fight with today, versus supremacy. The supremacy clause, okay, the supremacy clause, Article 6, is that 6? Establishes the Constitution as the supreme law of the land. All right? The supreme law of the land. Conflict arises when religious law, like Sharia, is viewed as competing legal system that claims authority over secular law. So Sharia law does claim authority over secular law. The supremacy clause in the Constitution says that the Constitution is the law of the land. So we can go on, and we can look into this much deeper. But when you have what I call the political stunts, and if you want to ban Sharia law, don't forget 181 years, all right? You had to go on the House floor uncovered, and Nancy Pelosi traded it for that Somali pirate, all right? All right, so, as I said, the Nathaniel Darnell story changed some things up for me today. The Georgia 2026 legislative session. Here is the calendar, and here's why I want you to keep an eye on this. Okay? Right here's where we're at. We're at the 25th. So we're on day 24, Wednesday. All right? And the reason I'm putting this calendar up is I want you to look right here. You see the 28th. So today is the March 6th. I'm sorry, day 28. Today is February 25th. As you can see, on March 6th, the red area in the corner, that is called crossover day. That means all the legislation that is out there in the Senate needs to be passed and sent over to the House, and the House legislation sent over to the Senate. And then it's a mad dash for 2 weeks to get everything to day 40 and final passage. Now, the reason I put this up and tell you that March 6th, today is February 25th, is right around the corner, this is when. This is it. What do I mean by that? When you go to here, all right, when you start January, right, when you start January 1st there. January 12th, 13th, February. You start February. You get up to like February 6th. That first 3 weeks, January and getting into February, it is resolution after resolution, naming roads, right? Naming a road in your hometown, bringing in the Chamber of Commerce, showing them around of your local county, Small Business Day, Realtor Day at the Capitol, Law Enforcement Day, First Responder Day, you name it, Clergy of the Week Day, whatever it is. They do that for right then. But right now, I am telling you, you're getting the warning here first. It is time to watch every move they make. It's happening now. This is where it's really going down. And why I bring that up, I'm going to show you something, all right? Because tomorrow we'll get into more of the political stunts that I just do not like. So right now, a lot of lawmakers are dropping laws or dropping bills, not laws. They're only a law once they're signed by the governor. A lot of legislators are dropping, bills left and right now. And some of them build real excitement. Real excitement gets built up. And then they go out and they campaign, all right? And the reason I say that, some of these people are the same people that want us to trust them with the legislation they're putting together now. And I'm going to go tomorrow into the property tax and the income tax, state income tax. Watch and see if they do constitutional amendments. And the reason they will not do constitutional amendments is because then they cannot change it. So let's say they do a constitutional amendment that says within, by so-and-so year, there no longer can be a Georgia state income tax. Well, we get to that 4-year period, the state constitution says it has to be gone, and they can't do anything about it. Same thing with property tax. If they go and do a constitutional amendment saying we're going to end property tax, homestead exemption, right? Property tax, we're going to do that. But we do it under a constitutional amendment in the state of Georgia. So by this date, you no longer can have homestead property tax. Then after that, they can't do anything about it. But if they put these hodgepodge bills together that most people cannot understand, written by lobbyists, yes, don't forget, written by lobbyists, passed, and then sold to you marketing. Then they give you the marketing that they did this amazing thing to you, and they cut your taxes here, and they cut your taxes here. 2 years later, once everybody forgets, the state legislature can go in and change that. Or if Democrats take control, they can go in next year or year after that, and they can change it. So here's my example for the day, SB 189. Now, SB 189 is a law in the state of Georgia. I want you to pay attention to this. And the Georgia Senate Bill SB 189, law May 2024, mandates removing the QR codes, okay? The key details, boom, boom, boom. Deadline, right? So the deadline in this law, this is a law, SB 189, signed by the governor. The deadline, the law sets a deadline for July 1st, 2026. So July 1st, 2026, QR codes are supposed to be gone by law. Now, here's what you're going to tell me. I know exactly what you're getting ready to say. Well, these are Democrats. This is not going anywhere. Okay, but now is the time you have to watch these bills. And the reason being is the bills they want you to know about and the bills they want you to see that Republicans put their names on. Right? Now this one is about to get me in real trouble. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. This is where I get in a lot of trouble. Because you're out there, you're probably doing a search. You're doing a search for the boy wonder, Greg Dolezal, or your Republicans, or what Republican names are on these bills. And right now you're saying, I don't even pay attention to a Democrat bill. Democrat bills don't stand a chance. What Democrat bills can do, like this one here I'm about to show you, is when it comes time, right, on day 40, don't forget, just an example, that Republicans need to get something across the finish line and they need some Democrat votes for some reason whatsoever, in any way whatsoever. That's where bills like this get shoved into another bill voted on, and you say later on, when did that happen? So I'm going to show you this Democrat bill. Now remember, SB 189. So this is HB. These are being, right now you got to look for all the ones dropping. They're dropping bills left and right now. They're dropping them so fast it's almost impossible to keep up with them. HB 1423 I have on the screen. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Democrats. Now, it's only been dropped in the House hopper, but you can see the date on it, 2/24/2026, yesterday. This was dropped yesterday in the House. Now, what is this? It's one page. One page, right? And what does it say? To amend an act related to elections and primaries approved May 6, 2024, SB 189. So SB 189 is a law. This is just one page. You can go look it up. To amend SB 189. And what does it say? An act related to the elections and primaries approved May 6, 2024, SB 189 is amended by revising subsection D of Section 13 as follows. Section 7. Section 7 of the Act shall become effective July 1st, 2027. Okay. Well, what is that? It's just moving the date. But it gives you, what does it give you? Section 13D, Section 7. Okay, so that's just one page. So let's look at this right here. Let's highlight it a little bit. Section 1, an act related to elections and primaries, approved on May 6, 2020, SB 189. They want to amend it, this is just one page, by revising subsection D of Section 13 as follows. Section 7 of the Act shall become effective July 1st, 2027. Well, that shouldn't be a big deal, right? That shouldn't be a big deal. So let's look. What is Section 7? Effective date of Section 7. According to the text of the Act, Section 13D, right, we just read that, establishes that Section 7 of the Act shall become effective on July 1st, 2026. They want to move it out a year. Section 7 of SB 189 focuses on how votes are counted by transitioning away from machine-readable barcodes, QR, produced by ballot marking devices. So that is Section 13D, right? July 1st, 2026. Section 7 is eliminating QR codes, right? So if you just go to this bill dropped yesterday by Democrats, right? By Democrats. Right there it is, HB 1423, you will see it never says anything about a QR code, right? It says the act shall become effective upon approval of the governor or upon its becoming law without such approval. The governor can leave it laying on the desk and it just becomes law. So Governor Kemp doesn't even have to sign this. This can get passed in the dark of night, just lay there, and people wonder, when did we move QR codes out another year? So what this would do is it would move the QR code, removal of the QR code, to July 1st, 2027. It's supposed to be this July. Now, let's go back to, well, that's the Democrats. That's Democrats. Now, this is a House bill, right? House bill. Folks, the point I'm making, right, and this is a House bill, in fairness to the dynamic duel here, this is a dynamic duel, Senator Greg Dolezal and Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, as you can see, there they are. There they are, to the Batcave, right? There's Robin's sidekick, the dynamic duel, and there is Batman, the protector of Gotham City. So maybe you want to call Batman and the dynamic duel here and the Boy Wonder. Now, this is a House bill. Don't forget, by day, he's mild-mannered Greg Dolezal. There he is. He's mild-mannered, cocktail parties with his friend Rob Pitts of Fulton County. But then, just like that, he becomes Greg the Weasel, right? The Boy Wonder, Dolezal. So maybe with all these things the Boy Wonder's out there doing, ask him about this bill, even though it's in the House, and ask him and Burt Jones if they're going to follow the law. They're going to follow the law. Now, I want to remind you of something. Why am I asking you to go to the Senate on this? Because the House bill alters SB 189. You see, SB 189 is the Senate bill that passed. SB 189 is one that I worked on with, David Cross worked on, some others worked on it. You know, I don't want to go down that road right now. But SB 189 is the bill we worked on from the Senate to get passed, that the governor signed. So the dynamic duel here, although it's a House bill, Batman and Robin should be going to the well. The Boy Wonder should go to the well and say SB 189 is a Senate bill. SB 189 is law. And the law says there'll be no QR code on July 1st, 2026. And the House is not going to slide in one page in the dark of night and see if they can move the date 1 year. No, it's not going to happen. Because you know what? If it moves 1 year, then we may have another governor, and the other governor could be a Democrat. Just saying. And next thing you know, all of everything we fought for, all of these things they say they want, could be out the window. So we don't have the money in the budget. Right now, if you want to know if the QR code is leaving, watch the budget. If there's no money in the budget to buy the machines to read the ballot, then QR codes are going nowhere. They will be on the ballot. So that just aggravates me. I hear this over and over and over. Let's see if there's anything else. Now, yesterday I told you this, but I got to get out for the day. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I went into great detail. I told you this yesterday. Now, here's John Fevera, whatever, Waffle House John, right? State Election Board chair dismisses calls for Fulton County takeover, right? Now, I told you yesterday, I went in great detail. I took the time. Look, I am not advocating that Fulton County is doing a good job by any means whatsoever. I think, in my opinion, they're all just a bunch of crooks. I mean, when I say we, there's a lot of people who have been fighting to get Jason Frazier on that state, Fulton County Election Board of Registration, and registration well before the boy wonder, Greg Dolezal, found out that he wasn't on there. Well, holy cow, Batman, Jason Frazier is not on there. Holy cow, Batman, this address has multiple registrations to it. Holy cow, Batman, illegals are voting. I mean, he's stunned, absolutely stunned of what's going on. And he plans to change it with a single leap, bound. No, that's Superman. That'd be me. No, all right. Anyhow, John said no. But here's the thing. State Election Board Chair John Fevrier Monday dismissed calls for the state's takeover of Fulton County election. Right? There's just a lot of political theater and people want to make comments. But I haven't had serious discussion with any board members about them wanting to take over Fulton County. Now, one more. Let's see here. Fevrier comments could put him at odds with the board's right-wing majority. Ruled out, appointed someone to run Fulton County election. State Senator Greg Dolezal, a candidate for lieutenant governor, has urged the board to do so, and President Donald Trump has backed him. I am a bigger believer in toning things down, the chair said. Now, there's one little spot here. Let's see. I've yet to see anything that would rise to the level of a crime or malfeasance or anything like that. It's just a lot of mistakes that were made. But 2020 is over with. This is the chair's comments. Now, he's appointed by Brian Kemp. Just saying. Under the 2021 law, I told you that SB 202, the state board could be replaced. The state election board rejected. I've told you this. I told you this yesterday. The state election board rejected a takeover in 2023 of Georgia's most populous county after Fulton made significant corrections. Now, who brought you all those corrections? Now, do I think that Fulton County is on the up and up? No. But I showed you yesterday what their argument would be. Made significant corrections in election operations during performance review. If there was a reason to do it in 2023, why would you even consider it? Why would you even consider it now? If there was no reason, if there was no reason to do it in 2023, why would you even consider to do it now? I told you that the boy wonder, just trying to just go out there, stunt, place this guy, Greg the Weasel Dolezal, is just playing stunts. Please stop watching his videos. Stop listening to this guy. It's absolutely unreal. Let's see what I have here. Let's see. Let me show you this. 47. Because I got 3 minutes to be out. Please, let's come together. Let's do everything from stopping this guy here. Jack Kingston's son, Jim Kingston. Whoever you want to vote for him. Jim Kingston should not be the next congressman to take the place of Buddy Carter in the 1st District. There is Sally Grubhub. Sally is a political opportunist. Yes, she is. She's working on her political career. She's there with her friend, BFF Blueberry, that's Brad Barnes, and that is Burt Jones, the lieutenant governor who put her on the state election board. Just one more of their stunts that they do. This is Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones with Josh McCoon, his very, very close friend, the chair of the Georgia Republican Party, that Burt Jones did his part to make sure he was chair of the Georgia Republican Party so they could control it when the time became necessary. And here is Josh McCoon hiding. He is hiding behind, on his X account, his post. And here we go. We always remind you, it was what, 2000, since, always we remind you every day, 2005. Ever since 2005, Republicans have had the House. They have had the House, the State House, the State Senate, and the governor's office. Just a quick reminder. President Trump, why the hell did you endorse Lindsey Graham? The lights are going out in Cuba. Cuba may fall. And, you know, at 4:30 this morning, I watched the Atlanta news. And, you know, and I know, what are they still looking for Savannah Guthrie's mom? Right? And at 4:30 this morning, I'm watching the Atlanta news, and I have to see where a 7-year-old girl was killed in a drive-by. That just broke my heart. Folks, I'm your host, okay? BKP, you're watching BKP Politics, right? BKP Politics here on voiceofruralamerica.com. Follow us on VORA, Substack, VORA at BKP Politics, and then Voice of Rural America, X, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. Don't forget, write me. We have this crazy thing. It's called freedom of speech. Now, I'm not going to get down. I'm not going to go back and forth if you just start with all kinds of ugly stuff. I'm not interested in your ugly, nasty stuff, okay? But if you have... if you disagree with me, if you have a different take, or if you have something you want me to think about, you have research, send it to me. All right, I will be back tomorrow. God bless America. God bless Georgia. God bless you. I don't know. Let's see. What else do I have here? That might be it.
What happens in Georgia gets revealed one by one as the facts are unsealed. From the pit comes what they don't want you to see. When the daily nugget of truth is dropped with your host, BKP.